Welcome back to the channel. I'm feeling good right now. It is really early in the morning. It's like not crazy early. It's like 7:20, something like that. I'm watching the sun go up, and yeah, I'm feeling good. There's a little morning motivation. You know what I mean? And today's gonna be a very easy day for me because I'm taking a break halfway. I'm going to do something with my family midway through the day, so I'm gonna have work's gonna be different. And doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it. I'm still up. I'm still doing it. You know what I mean? Even though I know that I have so much to look forward to and all these things, like I'm still moving forward. There's nothing really I don't think that can stop me from doing the habit of just showing up. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is what's most important. That's what I tried to build from day one was just show up. Just show up and just show up again and again and again. So tomorrow will be the real test. Today's not the real test. Tomorrow, see how many hours I get. But yesterday, I pretty much broke a record. I got like 9 hours doing difficult stuff. And out of those 9 hours, 5 of them were like just straight coding, trying to figure out this website stuff. So, it's gonna be a real tricky next few months because I'm still finding my footing, and I think I already found it, but I haven't. You know what I mean? At least I thought I had found it, and I don't have my footing yet. I'm not deep in yet. I'm not even like dipping my toes. Like I haven't really started yet in terms of these things that are so important, that are like life changing. So yeah. So it's gonna be a ride, just like all these things are. And I think there's a moment of like this despair, this moment that you get where I got this all the time in every skill I did, where I would notice I'm not as good as I thought I was. And that moment really breaks you or makes you, at least for that time, because then you go on thinking you're great again because you make it out of that despair. And you go on thinking you're great, and then you go right back down. And it happens over and over again. You can be at the most advanced level, it'll still happen. Where you're like, damn it, I'm still not as good as I thought I was. And if you just keep making it through that, I think for me, when I made it through it every single time, it's made me better. And it's made me see skills and mastery and other people's decisions differently. It started making me think that other people's decisions, even including mine, had consequence. So, a day off doesn't have that much consequence. I do agree with that. Of course, a day off doesn't. You start getting into the whole 3 days, 4 days off has consequence, right? Similarly with this, the good can also have consequence. It's not just the bad that's having consequence all the time, it's also the good. Me getting up and doing this, I think has consequence, externally and internally. Where it's like, I'm getting this internal confidence, getting this internal strength, and using it. Whereas externally, I'm also moving forward, I'm moving the business forward, I'm moving my habits forward, which is more important than the business or anything. Moving my habits forward is what's going to make or break the business. It's just true. Without the habits, I can be doing all the business stuff right. With the habits, I'll be learning. And when I learn, I can create. When I create, you know what I mean? We could just keep going in the loop of creation and learning and all these things that are fantastic. So now you go, okay, cool. I have all that. I'm in the circle. I have all the loop of creation. I have it. Perfect. Now you got to spend time doing it. And time is the difference. Time is the difference between who succeeds and who fails. Time is the difference between every metric. Time is the difference. Right? And to a certain extent, in terms of quantity and quality, yeah, quantity doesn't win every time. It's not always time, right? But sometimes it is quality. It's the quality of work that you're doing. If you're not doing high quality work, then it is also useless. But I think the more I learn about what is quality work, right now at this stage, what's quality work is quantity work right now. At least for now. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go produce right now, watch some White Lotus, and I'll be back with you guys after that. See you soon. All right, so I just finished producing, and this is a little weird because I'm doing things a little bit differently. I'm shaping up the day a little bit differently, and usually I work so much before I even start filming. Today I just woke up and filmed, so yeah, it's weird. It feels like right now, the calm before the storm. Because I know things are going to happen today that are going to be very dopamine heavy and they're going to be exciting, and I'll be excited, like things that are great. And doing this, like I said, it feels like the calm before the storm. It feels like the warrior in a garden. I don't know if I've talked about that yet, but that idea of the warrior in a garden really makes me see the world from a different perspective. So the warrior in a garden, basically, I heard it from, actually, I think Joe Rogan. He was talking about being a gardener in a war, or a warrior in a garden, right? And it's a metaphor, but it makes sense. Who do you want to be? Most people that I know would be the gardener in a war. I want to be the warrior in a garden. I want to be the person who has the ability to do things that are lethal. Not lethal, but you get what I'm saying. It's the ability to become someone that's scary or whatever, and he doesn't. He's in a garden. He's calm. His mind is a garden. His body shows it. His body language shows it. Doesn't make him less strong. Of course, he's strong. He's still a warrior. But the gardener in a war, I was that for a while. There was this war in my mind, and I'm just a simple gardener. You know what I mean? I just happen to be here as my whole mind is trying to convince me not to work, or trying to convince me to go do these addictions, so to speak, that I didn't think I should be doing. And I don't know how many of you guys, relate to any of that, but it really does feel like it'll get to the point where you feel like the world's closing in on you. And you're like, no, I have to do this thing. So now, and when you don't do it, it builds up this tension in your body, right? If you, one day of clean, good, no addiction, so to speak, like food, whatever it is for you, one day, okay, 2 days, 3 days, whatever your threshold is, it'll build up. And it was building up in me till it bursts, and then you go and relapse heavy. I feel like this is common knowledge. Like, it always does happen that way. And that's, that could work for a lot of people. Yeah, that can definitely work. It really doesn't work for me. The idea of having that bubble build up in you, like you're suffocating, and then it bursts, and you're just like, you relapse heavy. At least that's my personality type too. I think I have a pretty big obsessive personality, and the problem is the impulse control. A lot of people say it's ADHD, right? They're like, ADHD is moving on from one thing to another, going really hard on a subject, just working on it, and then not. And that's how I used to be, for sure. And I use that to my advantage, right? Leverage. Leverage is something we don't talk about enough. Leverage. Leverage is like tug of war. To me, that's how I think of leverage. That's a picture that I paint in my mind. It's tug of war, right? And whoever has more rope has the leverage. And you have certain activities and certain things, or you could play tug of war in your mind, right? You could play tug of war and give up half the rope. That's not leverage. Now you're starting the game already pretty much losing. Whereas if I go to my leverages, I play into my strengths and make my weaknesses my strengths and really play into it, then 50% of the rope is on my side. And now I'm playing to win. You know what I mean? Now I'm playing to win. Now I made it so that it's easier. It's more satisfying. You know, it's all these things that are in my ballpark. That to me is the definition of working smarter, not harder. The not harder is the only part that people disagree with, the working smarter, not harder. Because I agree with working smarter, not harder. But it's not that black and white. It's like, yeah, sometimes you work smart, sometimes working smart is working hard. I would say, yeah, working smart is not harder. It's more important. It's definitely more important. And yeah, it's more useful. Working smarter. Working harder can be useful, and you can beat it into submission, but they go hand in hand. They really do go hand in hand. Some people work hard doing stupid stuff. They work hard at maybe a job they don't think they should have, right? I mean, I was that person. I used to work very hard at a job that I really didn't want to have, and I didn't even have to pay the bills. I can only imagine if I had that as an excuse of like, I have to pay the bills, I got to do it. That would have made it even worse. But I'm going to end you guys here for now. I got one more clip after this, and yeah, it'll be sort of like the end of my mini day because I'm going to do something. I'm going to take a major break today. But yeah, I'll see you guys there. Peace. So I just finished editing some videos and I recorded a podcast. So now I'm here and I'm chilling, and this is an interesting day because I included, I'm going to be including a lot more dopamine, and I literally cannot get all 9 hours or 8 hours, and that's okay. That's fine. That's nothing to be ashamed of or anything. And as I move forward, and moving forward from here, it's like, where do we go? I think it's tricky because it's going to be difficult. Obviously, it's always difficult, but it's going to be a lot more difficult than I had anticipated almost, because it's always getting back on the horse that's tricky, right? If that makes sense. So I'll see. Tomorrow, either, we could do really good tomorrow. It could be average, could be below average. We'll see. But something interesting that was happening yesterday was when I was going to the house after I finished a 9-hour straight rip, just ripping it. I went back into my house and it felt like my day was not only over, but it felt like I was running out of time. While also I was just procrastinating and laying down. So when I was laying down, I was like, I don't get enough of this. Well, my brain just wasn't used to it, working this much and this hard. It felt like I was scarce of time, even though I wasn't. Because I've talked about this before with free time. We always think we have free time. I always think I have free time. And when I sit here, it doesn't feel like free time. It feels like time I pay for. But when I'm enjoying myself and having a good time, that's free time. I think I have it backwards. This is the free time. The time that I pay for is when I rest and when I procrastinate and just kill time. And I was watching this podcast with Robert Greene, great podcast, Robert Greene and Andrew Huberman. And they're talking about murdering time. There are some people that just murder time, and toxic people a lot of the time do that. They murder time. They can run through time like it's nothing. And it feels freeing. It feels like you almost own the world, like you own time. Because it's not going to affect me. And then some of these people look back after 10 years and what have they accomplished? What have they done? How did they get here? And they don't know. And they're more sad than you'll ever be about them. And I think I'm a part of that. I'm a part of the people who have this feeling, and fun times is it's my greatest enemy. Fun times. Because when I was homeschooled especially, I didn't have a lot of quote unquote traditional fun times. And I had to create them on my own. And a lot of it was just being lazy. Instead of doing the things that matter, like guitar, when I was playing guitar back in the day, and I would do it, and I started to realize what meaning was and what it can mean, and all these little things, these little moments that I realized this is tangible, this is real. All the other friends and all that, and because I literally didn't have many friends, I did through other places, but I didn't really want to hang out with them a lot. So because I didn't hang out a lot, I started to realize that people, not to say that, they're not, I was going to say like they're not necessary. They're necessary. But they're necessary for specific things. And sometimes they can have so much power over you that they can alter your decision. They can change a piece of your heart and replace it with them. They can do the same thing with frustration. And you haven't been frustrated in weeks, and then they get you, and you're just pissed. These are the things that I knew that I accidentally avoided. Luckily. Because I didn't just avoid them and then I'm just introvert, whatever. No, I avoided them while still being an extrovert, while still knowing how to talk and articulate myself, at least to a level that I thought was acceptable. And now, like I said, now it's kind of like set up for success. I'm set up for success. I have everything I ever wanted, anything I could ever ask for, and all I need to do is just follow the steps. And maybe, on the off chance, I'll make it, and so will you. On that note, I'm going to end this YouTube episode here. If you like this video, consider watching another one. I mean, I'm coming out with them all the time. So, see you next time. Peace.